Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, I guess I was playing the video a little too long without stopping and starting. I got a little letter from YouTube saying that they detected copywritten material. So it is what it is. Thank you for those that came back. Come on back in. Thank you for letting me know what was going on, you guys. I'm sorry for the interruption. Mims will be back in a minute. But we're just gonna go ahead and keep it going, child. They tried to shut me up. But knock on wood, I didn't get a copyright claim or anything like that. So they just basically said, we're gonna stop playing this video. We're gonna stop your video until you stop playing this copyrighted material. Is pretty much what they said to me. So but that was the first 7 minutes. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The first 7 minutes did not excite me. I don't know about you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you're excited to see how this spiritual retreat is gonna go. Put a 1 in the chat if you are excited to see where this spiritual retreat is gonna go. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not that excited to see how this spiritual retreat is gonna play out. But we see. I sent him the link. Let me make sure I sent him the link. Yeah, I sent him the link. Okay. Deborah said a 0. She said, I'm not interested at all. I see a 2, not excited. Okay. I don't see any 1s. Nobody said a 1. Well, let's go back to something we saw in the something that we saw in the trailer. Well, in the little preview. Child, this was Lisa Rinna's resignation email. Child, this was her resignation email. Is that how we quitting jobs in 2022? Well, it was 2022 when she wrote the email, maybe 2023. Is this what we doing? It was 2022. September the 10th of 2022. I will not be renewing my contract, and I will not be coming back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She didn't even spell out Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you so much for 8 years. All the best, Lisa Rinna. Y'all, is this how we quitting jobs? You said, yep, we don't need nothing long and drawn out. Child. I mean, this is what I'm going to say right here. I'm not interested in doing the research, to be honest with you. But I'm curious as to whether this was written before or after the reunion. Because, at the reunion, that's when Andy told her he felt like she needed to take a time out. Remember? And she was like, well, fine, Andy, put me in time out. So I'm wondering when this was written. Because I feel like this was after the reunion. I do not feel like she was this happened before the reunion. I don't believe. Let me see where Mims is. All right. The funny thing is, she was certainly on stage for BravoCon in October. This letter was written in September. You know what, Deborah? That is a valid point. Huh. So when she was getting booed and stuff at BravoCon, she already knew she wasn't coming back. Now that's interesting. That is interesting. Hey, Mims.
Hey.
Sorry about that. So we were talking about Lisa Rinna's resignation letter. So this is her resignation letter. I will not be renewing my contract, and I will not be coming back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you so much for 8 years. All the best, Lisa Rinna. But Deborah just brought to our attention that this was written on September the 10th, but she was absolutely at BravoCon. And had they announced at BravoCon that she wasn't coming back? I don't believe they had.
No, they didn't announce anything like that. But I think maybe this was before or after BravoCon.
Her resignation letter was before BravoCon. BravoCon was in November. This was in September.
I think that they had mentioned multiple times already that she had talked to Andy about putting herself on pause, right?
Right.
And Andy was just like, "Okay, you can
Right.
call
And he
your
was like,
bluff."
yeah, maybe that would be best. Like, maybe
Mhm.
that's what you need to do. Hey, Cece, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Okay, sorry guys. It's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm just deleting that old post that I'd made and sharing the new post.
I need to delete my old post too.
It's just one of those days. Can people
Yeah,
know what's
listen,
going
Mims,
on with you?
it's
Are,
definitely one of those days.
is it
Mims and
okay
I
that
have
people
now.
know what you were up to today?
Sure, sure.
So really had a funeral, and I'm still mourning my dog. So it's just been a few not
So
so
me and
great
him were
days.
so me and him were on the phone forever earlier today, and we still couldn't coordinate ourselves.
Mm-mm.
We still couldn't coordinate ourselves to get this right. So do you want to just go person by person and talk about the potential storylines of what we think may or may not be going on this season with them?
We can. I have
All
some
right. Well,
thoughts. I
let's
have
start
some
with
thoughts.
let's start with Gabor's favorite person, because I feel like they're going to probably have the least storyline. So let me make sure I put out the right person. Did I put up good Garcelle?
Yeah, it's Garcelle, but it's just a little blurry. What do I think about Garcelle? I'm not loving the red hair.
Okay.
I like Garcelle on the show. I do think that it's great that we get to see people, other women that aren't up Kyle Richards' ass. So I do like that about her mostly, but I still always have the same gripe with Garcelle. I think that they picked all of these women who are either faking a lifestyle or are worth $100 million, and I feel like some of the things they do and say to her, like you raised your paddle and didn't pay, you can get a Birkin. It's okay. You can return it later. Things like that, I don't like. I don't like it.
I feel like, first of all, I like Garcelle, but I agree with you that I feel like you've been in these circles long enough to understand how to act. And what I mean by that is I did not like the whole Birkin moment last season. Like, again,
Mm-mm.
I understand people who say, listen, I am not getting ready to spend
$16,000.
$15,000 on the purse. Like, I'm okay with that, but it didn't. It played like you didn't have the money to do it, and I didn't like that because they don't do that to anybody else.
Right.
Like, all these stories come out about people, like you said, faking their lifestyle and getting sued and owing money and foreclosing.
PK.
Right,
PK.
Dorit has been. She's every season we have these offline lawsuits and so forth and so on, and yet it's still um we never talk about it on camera, or it's an sidebar at the reunion. Yet we never say anything to her about, well, you sure you need to be buying this? You
Yeah,
sure
you
this?
had a whole woman chasing you around. They were literally filming, and Dorit had a whole woman trying to serve her and embarrass her. And what did they do? The older white ladies just held hands and ran around the pool pretending like they did not hear that Dorit owed somebody a couple $1,000,000. And then when Camille, my favorite, brought it up again that you owed her friend millions, they wanted to like drive by like it didn't happen. They should be saying, ma'am, can you afford those Chanel dresses, scarves, earrings? Can you afford them? Dorit, should you be buying this?
Right. I mean, they never said anything to Erica other than talking about them damn earrings. They never said anything to Erica about her lifestyle. Oh, do you think you should be getting glam every time? Do you want to borrow my glam? Oh,
Can you afford
Erica.
that Ozempic?
Because Ozempic ain't cheap.
Can you afford that, ma'am?
right? So that's my. I mean, I like Garcelle, and I know my baby Gabor. I know how he feel about her, but I do like Garcelle. But that is really my problem. And again, I
Garcelle
agree
is his
with the
cousin in real life.
huh?
Garcelle is his cousin.
Okay. Anyway, right, exactly. So, right, the paddle. I just didn't like it. And there is an undertone to it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if people say, "Oh, you're just being." No, there's an undertone to that because we don't. When it happens on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, when you talk about, "Oh, you didn't pay or you rate," it has a different undertone than when you're the only
When a
black
black
person
person says
on the
it.
cast.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
It's a totally different undertone. So I do agree. Now, what do you think? Do you think she's going to have any decent storyline this season?
No.
I don't either. And I like Garcelle, but I don't either.
To me, Garcelle is just like Giselle. Um, she Dr. Heavenly, entertaining enough. They're gonna give you good moments with the kids.
Right.
But in terms of Garcelle always talking about sex and we don't know her to be having it, it's like you're doing it for effect. So I would like to see her because she is a very like vibrant, pretty woman. She does have her own money. I would actually want to see her date and going on one of those blind dates with that man in the back of her trunk. When she first came on, she did have that producer. She did have that producer guy, but that was like for one episode, maybe. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I definitely need to see more from her.
Right. And I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next person.
Oh no, you're gonna ask them to hit that like button before we do nothing.
Up. Mims has spoken. There's 65 people in the room. If you guys
Definitely
could
hit
hit
the
the
like
like
button.
button, yes, please, and thank you. Um, in the trailer, it looks like her storyline this season is going to be her relationship with her youngest sons. I'm going to be honest, and this might sound a little, I
I
don't know
don't
how you.
care.
Well, it's not that I don't care, but I feel like, is that really a storyline? Like, I think that is the plight of every working mother. Your kids feel like you weren't there enough. I'm sorry, but it was either me be here and get you off the bus or you eat. Like, I don't know what you want. And I feel like they're old enough to understand that. And I really, because we've never seen any of that up until now. Like,
You
up
want to
until
hear
now,
some
they've been
tea?
the perfect sons. You've had the best relationship. And now they're horrible. Like,
Do you want to hear some tea?
T, spill it.
You know who their stepmom is?
No.
Kenya Moore's manager. Manager publicist.
Oh. I didn't even
So
realize her ex-husband had remarried. So I didn't know none of that.
another black woman.
Mm.
What's interesting though, because Kenya and Garcelle did Jamie Foxx show. I remember that. Because I was thinking, dang, I remember thinking, wow, they're so pretty, both of them, right? Like, but in all honesty, in the upfronts or whatever, anytime they're in the same room, they're not really communicating. So it's a little bit like, is that
Oh,
why?
interesting. Pour the tea. See, this is what you get, y'all, over here when Mims is in the house, honey. Mims be pouring tea. All right. So next up, we'll start with the next person that I don't think is gonna bring much, but I love her too. This Sutton. I don't feel like Sutton is bringing a lot to the table, but I love
Love
Sutton's
her.
quirkiness.
Love her.
I love Sutton. And let me tell you something. Sutton really does have money. Like, Sutton really does have money.
Mm-hmm.
She's quirky and awkward, but I love her. I do. But I don't think she's going to
Definitely. She's given 80% more than the rest of them. When she was going up talking about Erica's problems a couple years ago, nobody
That's
else
true.
would have done that.
No,
Sutton
that's
does not
true.
give a damn.
You're right. She was definitely calling. Now, she was definitely probably one of the only people that was holding Erica accountable. You're right. Garcelle did it too a little bit, but you're right. Sutton was like, I called my lawyer. And y'all better call y'all lawyers too. If you know what I know. If
Dorit
you
can't
know,
afford one. Dorit can't afford.
right. Y'all know what I know.
Dorit is over there calling Erica's husband.
Right. CFC Riley said, am I the only one who doesn't like Sutton? No, it's a lot of people that don't like her. I just love her.
I like her because she's quintessential what a housewife is. She is eclectic and weird, and she kind of has her own style, even though it is oftentimes not
cute.
What her body type calls for. It doesn't really do a lot for her frame, but that's what rich white women do. They worry about their status in the community. Everything that we're seeing in Sutton is what you see in a woman worth $40 to $50 million who just goes out and buys a Bentley on the whim because she wanted a convertible in her cars. She'll buy a horse in a country that she doesn't live in.
Right.
But you juxtapose that with Garcelle being her best friend, and I just feel like I don't like the black woman seeming like the charity case. Like, oh, I took Garcelle in my, and she didn't say this, but there are so many like little nuances to the relationship where one person is uber rich and the other person is just kind of like the friend, or I'll do this for you, or I'll do that. Like, it's weird. It's weird. I like that Garcelle is giving us the reality of some things. Most people cannot buy a beach house, but if she did that in Atlanta, it'd be like, wow. But doing it in LA, and they're like, oh, she bought herself a little thousands. I don't like it. Where else could Garcelle fit? Sutton could fit in OC. Sutton could fit in the old
New
school
Jersey.
New York.
Garcelle could fit in New Jersey.
What would she do in Atlanta? Why are all these people calling me? I don't know. I like Sutton though.
I like Sutton. I do like Sutton. But you're absolutely right. Now Sutton is the one that reads the girls. She will throw those little jabs out there. She will throw the little bloop bloop. She does throw the little bloop bloop out there. So, but I don't think she like, as far as that, yes, but her pushing a storyline, I don't know if she pushes a storyline. Potomac, Andre, you think she would fit in Potomac?
He has way more money than the Potomac girls, because if you think about it, even though I don't know what you would call it. It's not a townhome. It's not a patio home. Garcelle's brand new house is adjacent to like Calabasas. So I'm pretty sure a new build like that in a nice area right outside of LA is probably at least a couple mil. And then you have a beach house that's probably going to be a couple mil. That woman has $4 million in real estate. We just don't see it, what it looks like, because, Kyle is in Smokey Robinson's house, or Lisa Vanderpump has a villa, but Garcelle has some money. I think they say she's worth like 10 million.
So yeah, she's not broke, but I just think that she can't let go of, those old, I come from very humble beginnings. I come from a poor country and was an immigrant. Like, I just think and I'm not saying she should, but if you're going to be on a show like this, you have to know that that's sort of the expectation,
or be very vivacious. When I was having a conversation with someone who's housewife adjacent, that's what I was saying. I was like, well, do you actually have the money? And they said no. And I said, well, then the next step is to be vivacious. Like, make sure that all of your outfits kill it. Make sure you're flirting. Make sure that you are making your mark, because you don't have to be rich. Garcelle, I think if we saw her dating some really high profile men and things like that, in conjunction with her kids, in conjunction with going to the set where she's working, I think that would be enough of a storyline. But just to always talk about how great sex is and you're not having it is kind of wonk wonk. But we were talking about Sutton. Sorry.
No problem. I think any final words on Sutton? We're going to move on to, the next one on the list.
Who's the next one on the list?
The next one on the list is Crystal. How do we feel about Crystal this season?
I liked her better for season one. Like her first season, when she was like, "Tell me you're not that girl that doesn't see color. Tell me you're not that girl." I feel like she got a hard first season and then she just kind of like crumbled, and now she wants to be soft and liked.
I agree 100%. I loved her in that first season. I loved how she pushed back on Sutton. Even though I did feel like she was really doing too much with the Sutton bought me my coat thing, but I was here for how she defended it. I was here for her saying, "Listen, this is how she made me feel. I use the word. That's what words mean. Words mean things. Just because it offends you doesn't mean I used it incorrectly." And I loved that she stood in it and she didn't allow them to make her feel differently. And I agree. I feel like last season she just kind of went womp womp womp. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I definitely think she just wants to be liked. I mean, I think she's pretty. I think they have the money. I think she needs to get in there because she has a happy marriage. I don't want that to be ruined. I really want her to show people that she has a viable business. That's one of my big issues with her. She does like coconut water, right? I know she cannot. Yes, I mean her whatever her coconut water is, it's stocked in Costco. So yes, she has like a viable company. Her brother.
Yeah, she absolutely should be letting us know that.
I don't think that she wants Bravo to take a cut.
Well, I can understand that too.
But you know what? Then it just kind of like, what's the correct term? Denigrates you. It really just kind of like makes you seem smaller. You know what I mean? Like I want to see that you're a boss having meetings. I think you should work that out. So it would show a different side. So now all we know is that she's a housewife and technically she owns an actual company.
I did not know that. So you're teaching me something I didn't know because, like you said, we haven't seen it, and I do understand that's the catch-22 of not being part of the Bethany rule, right? Is that whatever you share, you have to give Bravo a cut, even if it existed before Bravo. If they share it, it's basically you're paying for your advertising. But
No,
it's
the hell
almost
you don't. No, the hell you don't.
Bethany, but then why can't she share?
So what Bethany did was, I think, and initially, in order not to do that, but still talk about it, she took a pay cut. Crystal doesn't need the money. I would love to see Crystal take a pay. I mean, you're
so
carrying around.
So that's what I mean. So like, she can take the pay cut and do it, right?
Yeah, she definitely should take the pay cut. I don't know. Season 1 Crystal I liked, and somebody said the baby doll dresses. I think the baby doll dresses probably have something to do with her body image issues. Because it's not extremely form-fitting all the time. And, maybe that's how she feels like she looks good,
Right. So clear this up, Mims. So if they had the company even before the show, they still, if they advertise, if they use it on the show, do they still have to share with Bravo?
I believe that's what Bethany was saying. She was trying to correct that people just felt like Bethany had free reign to talk about her business. I mean, at one point she had a skinny girl Beetle, Volkswagen Beetle. Like she branded the hell out of that. But she said she took a pay cut. Now, you took a pay cut, but now you're trying to tell us that your salary rivaled Nene. So you don't really technically know. Bravo isn't going to say, and Bethany can spin things how she wants. But in terms of Crystal, she's probably not making that much money.
I think what Bethany was saying was when she came back, when she left, they offered her a ridiculous amount of money to come back. I think that's the paycheck she was talking about. Before that, she wasn't making a lot of money. But I think it was when she came back. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's one of the things that they'll get rid of that, because I do think it's a catch-22. We want to see these women with these companies, but then, it's that catch-22 situation. All right. Well, let's get into who do we want? You want to go to Dorit next?
Sure.
You sound so excited to go to Dorit next.
I like the show, but I don't technically have a favorite on this show.
I don't really have a favorite either. I mean, I had people Erica used to be my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. If you go back and look at my old reviews, I loved Erica Jane.
Season 1, I liked Erica. Her first season, I liked Erica. I even liked when Dorit was fighting with. I do have a favorite, and her name is Kim Richards. I do have a favorite.
I do have a favorite, and her name is Kim Richards. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
definitely. I never liked you. From your hair to your face. That's what she said to Eileen. I never liked you. From your hair to the face.
See, look at all these people that used to love Erica. So Dorit, it looks like her storyline this season is going to be her and PK having some issues and her
Mm.
not getting over this robbery. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about either storyline because I'm gonna be honest. If and I know this is going to sound very shallow of me, but I never bought the Dorit PK love affair to begin with. So the fact that they're potentially having problems, I was more upset about Kyle and Mauricio than this. I don't know.
Little known fact about PK. So they say that their houses are not even their houses. They're saying that it's kind of like a Nene Greg's Leaks season 1, where they go into these homes and flip it or promote it using the show, and then they'll sell it. I could see that. PK, there was a woman, her name is Rachel. She was potentially going to be a housewife of New York. She was one of Tiger Woods' mistresses.
Ooh,
Her and PK had a special friendship.
special.
And I think she said on a good night, PK would blow about 300,000 to 400,000 on bottle service at her clubs. So PK blew through some money. PK
Remember
owed
how much he owed the casinos? Remember all that money he had to pay the casinos back?
a Tiger Woods mistress. Bring her to Beverly Hills and throw her in the mix with Dorit. That's what I want to see.
Exactly. Child. Well, I was never. Let me say. I don't want to say never a Dorit fan. I think for a minute. Hey, Queen Diva. I think for a minute I liked Dorit. Like her first season, I liked the looks, but it was the fake accent. I think that's what did it for me.
You mean
I was
her
like,
second season? The first season, she looked basic. That first season, she was over there telling Erica Jane, "How could you wear a t-shirt dress to my thing?" Like she was really just a woman who would pick up something in Neiman
oh, that's
Marcus.
why I didn't. That's why I didn't like her that first season because that's when they did the whole thing with PK and Erica in the underwear. Okay, yeah, no.
Right, Mama Mia. That mistress, the 9/11 girl.
Oh, the one that was the one famous for looking for her husband during 9/11. Child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then she also got brown hair, plastic surgery, and became a bottle service girl. And then everybody's favorite mistress.
Child. All right. Well, let's go down to Miss Las Vegas herself, Erica Jane. Why are you making that face now?
Erica, her first couple seasons, when she was happy and she had all that stolen money, she was a thicker, she had like curves, and that's what made her pretty. It wasn't she started looking like Baby Jane after the money ran out, but now she's gone the complete polar opposite, and she's giving like bobblehead.
Yeah, she in this picture right here, she absolutely looks like a bobblehead. Absolutely looks like a bobblehead. Like I said, I used to love Erica Jane. I used to be a big Erica Jane fan. She lost me, and it wasn't so much what happened with her and her husband. It was the way she handled it personally that turned me off. Like, your husband did what he did. You reap the benefits. It is what it is. But her attitude about it is what really, really turned me off about the whole
I
thing.
don't give a about anybody.
Right. Just the whole fake crying with the mascara running down her face. The whole story about her escaping. Like it was, I dropped him off at work and I just never went back home. Like you didn't have a whole U-Haul truck back up and take everything your ass could carry. Like just the whole thing, just girl.
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all. And I'm not one of those people who believe she didn't know. I also believe she didn't care. That's the thing. I don't think she ever cared. I think that she was just the old school old school dancer who like
I'm your private dancer.
she everything that she did was a lie. When she said how she met him or whatever, it's like okay, so let's get into it.
Kind
These
of
are
like
some
Nene and Greg, but go ahead.
uh, she wanted to represent something. Like I think Erica Jane, somebody just put in the comment, Madeline Aston from Death Becomes Her. I think that everything that we see in Erica would love that comment. I think that she gets with a team of people and they tell her what she has to do and how she needs to represent. And so she could say, yes, I'm going to be Meryl Streep's character from that. And this is what I'm giving. Just like she was not all about the gays. A focus group told her, based on what she wanted to do, that it would be accepted from gay people, even at her age. And that is the image they chose to craft, even down to how she met her husband. Really, she said that, she was a waitress and he was her client or her customer, and she gave the number and he asked her on a date or something like that. And now you have this, rags to riches story. No, he was your boss. He owned the restaurant. He wasn't just some man that you happened to see, like a nice guy that you just happened to see and thought, okay, we have good chemistry. You sought him. You knew he was part owner of the company you worked for. Do you know what I mean? Like she crafts these stories, but it's a lie. Just say it. He was your boss. Period.
Basically.
Tracy said he was the
and,
Thorn
and
in Pasadena.
and I guess her storyline is gonna be her getting this Vegas residency and trying to redeem herself. I guess I don't know. I guess.
What did she have to do for this residency?
I mean, I guess it's her sponsor, the guy that's been carrying her these last couple of years. I guess it's her sponsor. I don't know.
Well, allegedly, that guy is actually also an attorney, and it would make sense
Yeah.
that an attorney friend of her husband's would continue to help her along because there's a lot of secrets that that man has been holding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I heard as well. That it's allegedly.
But I
All
think that
right.
her and Kim, I was about to say Kim Fields, Kim Zolciak will always be a older white married man's wet dream. So somebody is going to wife them up, or if not wife them up, make them, the next mistress in the, on the
Right.
team. A
So here's where
concubine.
the majority of our season is going to fall. Kyle and her separation, I put in air quotes, her separation, and is she or is she not involved in a lesbian uh situation? Um First of all, do you believe that they're really separated, or do you think that this is just storyline, attention seeking behavior?
It's
Like,
not
do you
on,
think they're really separated?
it's not the season though. The season had wrapped when all that stuff hit. So I think that the season that it's gonna be similar to Drew and what's his name? Drew and Blockhead's divorce. I think they're just gonna add some episodes.
Okay.
I don't really. I mean, if Kyle wants to get kitty clickish with some woman, all for it. Mauricio's been. We're hearing rumors about him. Doing whatever he was doing with whomever he was doing for a long time. So I'm fine with her doing it. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely heard the rumors of Mauricio. So honestly, I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't happy to hear it. But I wasn't surprised because we've heard the rumors about Mauricio in them streets. Like that ain't new information.
I
So
don't believe the trans one though. I talked to that lady, the trans lady who alleged that Mauricio was into them.
mm-hmm.
She did not want to interview. She put it in the National Enquirer, and the story was kind of like there was her and another girl, and Mauricio had come. Like the story seemed crazy, and if that's your claim to fame, it would seem like you would want to talk again. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't believe the story about the translating. But other people,
I don't believe for 1 second they're separated. She was front and center at his first week on Dancing with the Stars. They've been together like this whole time. Like they've been together.
so you're saying they're the white Will and Jada?
Listen, at this point, child,
Their life partner.
So we have a new girl this season, Anne-Marie Wiley. So let me tell you guys.
Already.
Huh?
I'm bored already.
Oh wow. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Anne-Marie in case you don't already know who she is. Anne-Marie, oh gosh, my tongue tied. Anne-Marie is she's a registered nurse, anesthesiologist. That is her profession. But she's also married to a former NFL player by the name of Marcellus Wiley. And according to what I'm reading here, it says that she gets into it with Sutton and Crystal. Of course, we saw that in the trailer with her and Crystal going back and forth at it. So we'll see. The reality is she can't replace what Lisa Rinna does. And like I started off by saying, I really think we need Lisa Rinna. I just think Lisa Rinna did.
Lisa Rinna had reached the point of no return. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do feel like Lisa Rinna has done too much, and it was like, okay, are people doing, coke in your bathroom? Okay, that's kind of funny. Now you're telling people that they really aren't sick. You have Munchausen, so now we're diagnosing people. She said Kim Richards was about to die. Like, she was pushing
while she's carrying around a Ziploc bag full of 50 different pills.
Yeah, if she was in Atlanta, she would have got popped in the mouth at some point.
Absolutely, she would have. And then she plays victim at every reunion and sits there and cries like she don't understand why everybody's coming for her. Baby, when Kim bought her that damn bunny back, still in the damn cellophane, baby.
I need one of those for all of that. I'm gonna get a bunny for my clubhouse. Let me write that down.
You need to get a bunny for your clubhouse.
I'm gonna get a bunny for the clubhouse.
Oh Lord.
I'm excited for this season though, because I really like Beverly Hills. I'm excited for Potomac. And I'm excited for Married to Medicine. If these shows let me down, I'm gonna be pissed.
Wait a minute, Danny said they want to get the problematic Republican housewife. Plus, she's black is a plus to Bravo. Oh,
he's a Republican?
Oh boy.
Wait, I didn't know that. Let me see. Okay. Let me see.
Rinna kept the girls on their toes. She did, boy, but I agree with Mims. I think last year was just a bridge too far. And, when she snapped at Andy, very similar to when Lisa tried to call Andy at the reunion to make it seem like she had the ability to fire Melissa. And I knew then, the minute Teresa made it seem like she could fire Melissa, I knew Melissa was coming back. Melissa might have been on the chopping block, but the minute she challenged Andy and made it seem like she had the authority to control whether Melissa came back or not, I said Melissa comes back. Even if it's just for one season, Melissa comes back. She's friends with Candace Owens.
Oh. Wait, shut up. Let me go to her. Hold on. Let me go to her page. I'm looking at her husband's page right now.
She's a Candace. Somebody else is saying she's a Candace Owens wannabe, and her husband is a Jason Whitlock. Wait a minute. Is that the same one that was married to that guy that made those comments? Wait a minute. We talked about him. He has a podcast. Is that him?
What's her name?
Her name is Anne-Marie Wiley.
He has something called Grateful Gathering. You said Amber Wiley?
I did. He made some very problematic statements about LGBTQ. He made some comments about Dwayne Wade and Zaya and how they were raising Zaya and stuff. We talked about him.
That's not her name. Her name is Amber Wiley?
It's Anne-Marie. ANNEMARIE. We absolutely talked about him. Because he made some very problematic comments. He sure did.
How am I'm still spelling her name wrong. Spell it one more time.
ANNEMARIE. And their last name is Wiley, Wiley.
Oh, okay. Anna Marie Wiley. Nurse. Okay, so let me look through her stuff. Okay, I see. Okay, I see a lot of white people. I don't see Candace Owens though. White people are okay, but Candace Owens is not.
Exactly.
Gabor likes her.
Of course he does.
Not of course. Now he will come up and curse you out.
Love you, good boy. I'm just messing with my baby. I'm just messing with you. Don't come up here and cuss me out, please.
Okay, so maybe she scrubbed her page because I don't see anything about Candace Owens on this woman's page. But they do scrub, so let's go a little deeper. Why are we deep diving on live? But I love it. Anne Marie Wiley, Candace Owens. Candace Owens' hair bothers me. It's so dry and lifeless and brittle.
That's because she probably refuses to go to a black woman who would know what to do with her hair. And so
She started once she got with Kanye. It appears Bravo is trying to add some spice. But her presence might shake up the dynamic of the liberal laced cast thanks to her husband's views on controversial topics. He shares 4 kids, blah, blah, blah. What are the views? Radar Online.
They are Trumpers. Oh.
Looks like my phone doesn't want me to look it up.
Your phone is trying to not let you be messy today.
My phone is trying to stop me so I don't hate this woman before she comes on the show. Let's see.
Her white husband told her she could shake and go.
Okay, let's see. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Daughters. Okay, that one-time NFL Pro Bowler recently addressed controversial topic, taking the same stance as Caitlyn Jenner. That's never great. While Marcellus said he had no problem with transgender people, he does take issue with trans females competing against any of his daughters in sports. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand that either. I think there should be a category for trans people so that they can compete.
I can definitely see that. Yeah, I just remember us talking about him making comments about Zaya Wade and Dwayne Wade. Like I remember that. I remember us talking about that.
I do have an issues with athletes who are transgender trying to participate from going from a transition of a man to a woman and now playing with women. And I will say that you can try Dave Schiff, you can blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, that I don't really mind. Maybe they didn't have the Zaya Wade one.
Well, if they're Trumpers, that's a whole nother. For me, that's another conversation. Let me see.
I mean, we cannot fault her for being a Trump supporter when there are a lot of these rich women who quietly voted for Trump. You know, you're in America, you have a right to vote for whomever you want.
Absolutely.
I can't be mad just because you're black and doing it. Let's see. So he does have a YouTube channel and a podcast.
Yeah, Marcellus Wiley.
Dwayne Wade's transgender daughter. He also made it known. Okay, Marcus went on a rant about basketball star Dwayne Wade's transgender daughter. He also made it known that he doesn't support transgender women. Okay, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna have to find his rant.
Yeah, that's a picture of him with the family. Yeah, I mean, this is how I feel about it, and I've said this before on my channel. First of all, I mean, who you vote for is your business, and it is what it is. But I don't have an issue with people who vote in their best interest. I have an issue with people who vote against their best interest. And I say this now, and I will continue to say it, and people can disagree, and it is what it is. If you, what are you laughing about?
Okay. It says, hold up. The Real Housewife of Beverly Hills newbie is friends with the GOP bed wench, Candace Owens.
Oh my.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to go back and watch his rant. I mean, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel like allowing a child to transition very early is dangerous. Um, we're not gonna
But
have that
go
debate
listen to
here.
his rant because I can't remember exactly what he said, but I know we talked about it, and it's not so much that about the it's he makes some the go listen to it. It's yeah. Um. So what I was saying was this. I y'all know how I feel on the people who are from my channel. Y'all know exactly how I feel and what I'm saying. You vote for who you vote for, right? Like that's I have family members who voted for Trump. So you vote for who you vote for. I don't have to like it. I don't have to be okay with it. And when you vote against yourself, your own interests, that's when I have to really give you a side eye. And I just feel like people who voted for Trump, either they're racist or they are okay with racism and misogyny and sexism, because these are all the things that this man has showed us that he is. So if you voted for him, in my opinion, either you fall in that category or you're okay with that.
What about
And that's
what
the
about what
issue.
Biden did to Anita Hill?
What Biden did to Anita Hill to me does not show a pattern of you being that person. That is was it a bad decision? Absolutely, it was a bad decision. The way he handled it, but we also have to put it in the context of where we were in the world at that time. There was no Me Too back then. Like it was a man's world, and he was wrong. Let's
Well,
be
no, I
clear, he
don't.
was
No,
wrong.
no, absolutely, unequivocally, you can be your brother's keeper. Now, Biden is definitely the lesser of two evils, in my opinion, between him and Trump. But the point is, there had to be a Martin Luther King at some point, right? If you're just going along with status quo, then you're no better than the rest, in my opinion.
But I don't feel like exactly. I don't feel like that's an equal. I don't feel like it's fair to equate Joe Biden and how he handled the Anita Hill situation to what Trump has shown us he
I'm
is
I'm in,
over and
I'm
over and over and over
absolutely
again.
I'm absolutely saying they're not the same. However, we do have one place where you were moving along with the status quo. I'm gonna make whatever fossil fuels I want. I forgot.
But Trump isn't. But Trump isn't. But Trump isn't moving along with the status quo. Trump is creating his own status quo. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Trump isn't
That was
moving
the
along with
actual
the status quo.
antichrist. Look, I don't want to get into a political debate. All I'm saying is, uh, I'm I don't like Candace Owens. I'm really trying not to hate this woman before she comes on the show, and I've never seen her speak. I don't know. One thing that happened though, I will say, 2016 and 2020 brought me so much anxiety. I had to step away from not so much caring what other people did, but I had to realize that I can want and want and want, and it's just going to bring up my anxiety. So for my own, mental health, I had to back away from those kind of thoughts, right? Because it doesn't change what people do. You can do whatever you want to promote whomever you want to see win. You get what I'm saying? You can donate, you can do grassroots, you can do all those things. But 2016, I was literally a very angry person. 2016 rolled around and I was like, how could you? And I was one of those people watching MSNBC and CNN every night. There was not like a segment that I did not miss because I was just so worried about what would happen, if Trump made it to office. And then it happened, and it was like, I remember, I want to say Jamie That's Me. Um Jamie That's Me was supposed to have a show. after that election day. And I remember riding the train to work and Jamie was not on and I was just mad. I was mad because I was mad at the election. I was mad that Jamie had not done her video and that or dropped that video that morning. But it gave me so much anxiety. So the way that I had to ease that is I'm going to do what I do to promote the values and morals that are important to me. But I cannot, and I don't want other people to see it my way, right? I'm going to be in my zone promoting what I want, what I feel is right, but I cannot worry about, I can't just watch Fox News and think that's a lie. How could you say that?
But and for anybody who was watching my channel before, like if you're new to my channel and you don't know this, but if you go back to 2019, 2020, 2021, I was the exact same way. I mean, me and you have talked about this offline. I was starting my day with Morning Joe, ending my day with Rachel Maddow. Like I was, you know what I mean? I was at MSNBC all day, every day. I would flip to CNN for a little while, then I'd flip back. I talked about it on my channel. I encouraged people to go vote. I tried to educate people. Like I did all of that. And I did the exact, again, me and you have talked about this offline. I did the exact same thing for my own mental health. I had to take a step back because I was angry and I didn't understand. And I literally would be walking down the street side-eyeing people like, you probably voted for that month. You know what I mean? Like I was that person. And when I say I have family members that voted for Trump, like literally I have family members who our relationship still ain't the same because I can't wrap my brain. Like you're my family and I loved you my whole life, but I still cannot wrap my brain around why you thought that was a good idea, you know? And so I absolutely had to take a step back. And people on my channel, they still ask me to do, we miss your politics. We miss your politics. I've just started getting back to the point where I watch politics for myself again. Mm-hmm. But not like it was before. Like I'm still not, addicted like I was. I mean, I was listening to podcasts. I had so many political podcasts on my phone. Like it was crazy. And I was just so angry. I was so angry because I was like, I mean, even me and my best friend, and she'll see this video one day. She's eventually, but even me and her she wasn't a Trump supporter, but even me and her have disagreed on things as it related to Hillary Clinton. And I was like, I don't care. We can't afford to let Trump win. Like, I don't care about her emails. I don't care about her pantsuits. I don't care about her kitten heels. Do you understand that the alternative is Trump? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care.
I was extremely scared. Like, I didn't realize that I had issues with anxiety. At that point in my life, I didn't realize that they existed. And it would just be like, you go to bed stressed, because they then said the polls are like this. You wake up stressed, and then on election day, 2020's election day, I literally was like, I can't do this. I'm not. So I turned on, I think, Game of Thrones or something that, would get my mind off of it. And then I went to bed. I made sure to turn my TV off. If I tell you, somehow or another, I woke up in the middle of the night and Trump was doing his acceptance speech. It might have been like 3 a.m. in the morning. I had a panic attack. Because I had turned that off. I don't know what happened, why HBO was not playing, but it was back to seeing Trump giving his acceptance speech. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't.
Yeah. So I still have not gotten back to that point where I was. And I don't think I ever need to get back to be that obsessive. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna try to still walk into the season with a positive. I'm gonna try to give her a clean slate.
Deborah said it had 2016 had her nervous for 4 years.
I listen. I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. Like, trust me. I remember
it was.
Listen, I feel you guys. I feel everybody's pain in here. If you guys came over from Mims' channel, I want to thank you guys so much. Hopefully you'll subscribe and hang out over here with us sometime. If you guys are not subscribed to Mims' channel, you guys go check him out. It is Make It Make Sense. My mods have been dropping his link. So if you guys are not subscribed, and listen, my baby Gabor is in the chat as well. When it comes to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the three of us are the trifecta. Okay, we are the trifecta. We are going to give you consistent. I'm still one of Mims' lines. We're going to give you consistent reviews on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Mims goes live, Gabor goes live, I go live, and we talk all things Beverly Hills. So you guys, y'all make sure y'all are subscribed to all three of us. Make sure if you definitely are waiting for the Beverly Hills content, and the season starts next week.
Is it on
Anything
Tuesday
coming?
or Wednesday?
October the 25th. Today's the 20th, so in 5 days.
So that's next Wednesday. I usually go live 30 minutes after the show airs. So hopefully it's not like Salt Lake City where they do it at 8 o'clock. Because I'm not going live at 9:30.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'll probably do mine on Thursdays, you guys, because y'all know listen, I gotta get up and go to work. So I'll probably do mine on Thursdays. Probably
Is it work or that man? Didn't they say you was with the Kingpin?
That's what they say. If I was with a Kingpin, I promise y'all, life would look a lot different around here. Okay.
I mean, the people want to know. This is why she does not have me on her channel.
The people don't want to know. We want to know. Anyway, thank you for being here, Mims. You always come when I call, and I appreciate it.
Some little baby said my mama is obsessive and hasn't turned that mess off since Trump got in, and all she does is fuss about Trump. You have to detach.
She has
right?
to let it go.
You have to because it's politics, and politics mirror what we are seeing in real life. So they're going to be over the top. And now, if you think about what's different than when 20, 30 years from now, if Monica Lewinsky was underneath the desk giving some sloppy toppy, one paper reported it, and then it was across all papers, and then you might see it on television later that night. Now, Monica Lewinsky doesn't have time to wipe her dress off because it's already on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok has already made a video. So the news cycle had to change, and they made a lot of money from both sides. Like, I'm one of those people where I know who the lesser of two evils is, but I do still think that there should be term limits. If you are giving a speech and all of a sudden this happens,
right?
I'm back. Hold on, I'm back. Like, term limits. We do not need you to croak in office. And on that note, it was really fun, really. I will see you guys later.
Goodbye, y'all.
Thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you, Anna Marie, for this conversation.
Right, because we went way left.